Imagine waking up one day and realizing that you're not truly in control of your life. The decisions you make, the fears that hold you back, the way you react to people and situations. What if none of it is entirely your own doing? According to Carl Jung, deep within each of us lies a hidden psychological force, something powerful and mysterious, that operates silently in the background, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without your awareness. Jung called this force the shadow self. It's the collection of traits, desires, impulses, and emotions you were taught to reject. Anger, jealousy, selfishness, ambition, pride, vulnerability. From childhood, you've been told what's acceptable and what isn't. Don't be selfish. Nice people don't get angry. Don't want too much. Be quiet. Stay humble. And so, to fit into society's mold of who you should be, you pushed these emotions down. You locked them away, thinking that ignoring them would make them disappear. But they didn't. Instead, they formed your shadow, and the more you suppress it, the more power it holds over you. Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This quote isn't just philosophical, it describes a real pattern that many people live by without realizing it. You might wonder why you reacted so strongly in a certain situation, or why you sabotaged a good opportunity, or felt irrational jealousy towards someone. These unconscious reactions are not random. They are your shadow speaking. Think of your psyche like an iceberg. The tip above the water is your conscious self, the version of you that you show to the world. But beneath the surface lies a massive structure, the unconscious mind, containing the shadow. And even though it's hidden, it drives more of your life than you think. It causes you to judge people for traits you deny in yourself, to fall into repetitive self-sabotaging behaviors, to be overwhelmed by emotional reactions that feel bigger than the moment. The traits you dislike most in others, arrogance, laziness, vanity, often mirror the traits you've buried within yourself. These are not just personality clashes, they're projections, a psychological defense mechanism that hides your shadow by seeing it in others. This isn't just modern psychology, it's a pattern echoed throughout human history. Socrates was executed not because of any crime, but because his questions made people confront uncomfortable truths about themselves. The same is true for all of us. When confronted with the parts of ourselves we've disowned, we either evolve or we lash out. Jung believed that the shadow reveals itself in our dreams, our fears, and our relationships. Recurring nightmares, unexplained anxieties, sudden bursts of anger or fear. These are not random. They're messages from the part of you that's been neglected, buried, and silenced for too long. Nietzsche referred to this inner battle as the will to power, warning that suppressed parts of our psyche, if left unacknowledged, eventually erupt in destructive ways. And that's the truth. Your shadow is not evil, it's simply unheard. The more you ignore it, the louder it becomes. The more you fear it, the more it controls you. So how do you reclaim control of your life? The answer lies in shadow work, but shadow work is often misunderstood. It's not about eliminating your flaws or destroying the dark parts of yourself. It's not about fixing what's wrong with you. Instead, it's about recognizing, accepting, and integrating the shadow into your conscious self. It's about understanding your triggers, your patterns, your reactions, and tracing them back to the parts of you that you've tried to ignore. Take the story of Michael, for example. He was always the nice guy, polite, agreeable, selfless. He avoided conflict, kept his head down, and always tried to do the right thing. But deep down, he was simmering. Resentment, frustration, and an aching desire to be seen and respected lived inside him. Yet he never let himself feel these things. He was taught they were bad, selfish, ungrateful. So he buried them. Until one day, under pressure, he snapped. When his boss unfairly blamed him for a mistake, Michael exploded. For the first time in his life, he stood up and let his voice rise. That moment of intensity shocked everyone, even Michael himself. But what he realized that night, as he lay awake reliving it, was that his anger had always been there. His shadow had finally broken free, and in that moment he saw it for what it was. Not something to fear, but something to understand. Michael's story is not unique. Every person carries a shadow, and most of us are unaware of how deeply it runs. That's why it's so important to recognize the signs: emotional triggers, repetitive failures, conflict patterns, and deep-rooted insecurities. These are all entry points into your shadow. One powerful way to begin the process of integration is through shadow journaling. It involves writing down the thoughts you'd never say out loud, the ones that scare or embarrass you, the ones you think make you a bad person. In this safe, private space, you allow your true feelings to surface without judgment. What do I suppress? What do I fear people knowing about me? What emotions do I avoid? Answering these questions truthfully can be uncomfortable, but also incredibly liberating. Because your shadow doesn't want to destroy you, it just wants to be seen. And once you bring it into the light, it loses its unconscious grip. Another essential tool is awareness. When you feel triggered, pause and ask, why does this bother me so much? What part of me is being touched right now? If someone's arrogance irritates you, perhaps you've been taught to suppress your own confidence. If someone's laziness frustrates you, maybe you've never allowed yourself to rest. These reflections can reveal what your shadow is trying to say. Over time, this awareness gives you power, not to reject your shadow, but to integrate it. When anger arises, instead of pushing it away, ask what boundary is being crossed. When jealousy flares, ask what desire you're not allowing yourself to express. Talk to your shadow like you would to a wounded child. I see you. I accept you. But you no longer have to scream for my attention. This is how you shift from being unconsciously ruled to consciously aware. And that's the secret. Shadow work isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming whole. You are not just your light. You are also your darkness. You are not just your strengths. You are also your flaws. And once you accept every part of who you are, you step into a power that few people ever experience. Because now, you're not being led by unconscious patterns. You're choosing consciously. You're no longer afraid of your shadow. You've embraced it. Carl Jung's words echo again. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Most people never take this step. They live their lives on autopilot, wondering why they feel stuck, why the same patterns keep repeating, why happiness and success always seem just out of reach. They call it bad luck. They say, this is just how I am. But the truth is, it's not fate. It's their shadow, silently guiding them. Now you have a choice. You can continue to ignore your shadow, pretend it doesn't exist, and let it shape your life in ways you don't understand. Or you can face it, work with it, and turn it into a source of clarity, creativity, and inner strength. The more you suppress your darkness, the more it controls you. But the more you embrace it, the more whole and free you become. So the real question is, what part of yourself have you been avoiding? What is your shadow trying to tell you? Let me know in the comments, because understanding your shadow is the first step to breaking free. And if you found this video insightful, subscribe for more deep explorations into psychology, philosophy, and the hidden forces shaping your mind. We are just getting started.